Good morning, community. How are you? Jenenne Macklin here, transformational speaker, your wealth guide and catalyst. Good morning to the West Coast, of course. Good afternoon to the East Coast. How are you? It is Monday. Let's talk about your Monday mindset. Let's let this be the mindset that carries you throughout your week, okay? So as I'm walking, I'm at the Rose Bowl, getting my walk in this morning. And I'm listening to people. One thing I have to say as we go forward in embracing, first of all, embracing life and embracing that life is about change. I left off on Friday with that awareness, and more it is becoming the big piece, I want to say, to having your sanity is recognizing change. Now, things were always changing before. It was just not so clear to us. But without a lot of the distractions that we say of, all the outside things that we can't do, without the bars, without the dancing, without the movies, without the partying, without the concerts, without all the social events, it's almost like all of those distractions have been wiped clear for us to really, as the song would say, see clearly now what is really going on. What truly is the quality of the lives that we're living, and then being able to make a conscious choice going forward about what we want that to look like, how we're going to participate in it going forward, given that nothing will really go back to the way it was. So it became important today for the mindset for the week for you to look at, where do you stand in this process in embracing the shifts and changes that are happening on the planet? Where do you stand? What are you holding on to? What gives you your sense of purpose and value and meaning? Because all of that still remains the same inside. No matter what happens out here, no matter who wins the election, no matter who gets killed, no matter what. Whatever purpose you have, whatever you hold on to, whatever you anchor yourself and your life in, your goals and your purpose, that's in here. And so that stays the same. That doesn't change. If the Republican's office, if a Democrat's in office, how we achieve it may change a little bit. But the fact that we have these goals and these desires and how we want to see our life, the things that we want to create, we want to bring forth in our lives, if we can simply embrace that change is just a part of that process. The seasons change no matter what. Whether we're happy or sad, we like it or not, it's going to change. So the more that we can recognize that externally and even recognize it for ourselves. Many of us have changed in this 7-month period of time in how we do things and how we look at things, how we handle our affairs, how we treat ourselves, how we treat others. A lot of that has changed. I know today I was in the bed till 7. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to get in the habit of staying in bed till 7 because I'm used to getting up at 6 and doing my morning meditation and walking. But if we can embrace that that's truly always been a part of life and just embrace it more consciously and say, okay, we know that things are going to change. Everything out here is shifting. But what's happening inside of me? What do I need to do for my own fulfillment, my own happiness, in spite of whatever else may be going on in the world? What is it that I need to do? What were the goals that I set? What is it that I want when I look back at this year? This year is almost over with. When I look back at this year, what will I want to have seen for myself that I did, that I stepped into, that I embraced? How did I handle change? What shifts did I make to accommodate what was very clearly, to me, a change that was going to impact me, myself, my family, or it's already impacted our jobs? That's the piece you want to get settled on, and that's the mindset you want to step in today. You continue to be at the helm of your life. You continue to be the one that's dictating what's going to happen and what's going to show up in your life, how it's going to show up, and what it's going to look like. You still have that power. Granted, in some situations, it's a little bit more difficult than it used to be. Granted, it may not be as easy as it used to be. Doesn't change the fact that you still have the power in your life. because you have the power to think. You can think whatever thoughts you want to think. You have the power to speak into existence in your life the things that you want to see showing up. You haven't lost that power. You have the power to create, maybe not as easily as you may have done before, but you do have that power. And then you have the power to take action. You've never lost that. You've always had that. The action may look a little different, but you continue to have that. You may feel differently as you do it. I'm more aware when I'm out in the world of looking around, of being mindful of people, people's attitudes, particularly after the realization that domestic terrorism is happening here in our country, in my country. Like, how dare you? So yeah, we're all mindful of it, but it's not something where I'm so on a high alert that it debilitates me from doing what I said I need to do this year. No, I didn't get to go out and speak. I didn't get to go on the road and travel, stand in front of beautiful women, 100, 200 women at conferences like we've done over the years, but still didn't stop me from creating the programs that I wanted to create and offer what I wanted to offer to those ladies who were interested. So you, at this point, we've been in this year for 10 months, heading into the last 2 months of this year. What were your goals at the beginning of this year? Have you revisited those in your business and your life? What were those? Did all those just get thrown by the wayside because of the pandemic? Once you got your own sense about how you were going to navigate it and what you were going to do in response to it, how did you then pick up your life and carry on? How have you handled and had to navigate the shifts and changes? Because if nothing else, this year has been a year of change. And it has taught us, one, that we can change even though we didn't think we could. That we can weather the storm even though we may not have thought we could. And even though we were probably caught off guard by most of it, you still managed to be here. You're still here on the planet. You're still contributing. You still have something to offer. So, as we look at closing out this quarter, we're in the fourth quarter, particularly for my business leaders. We're in the fourth quarter. Where are you with your goals? Where are you with your financial goals? How much greater is your financial confidence this year? How much more did you save? How much more did you invest? What financial principles did you learn? What financial principles did you institute? Because see, some of what you want to do this year, you could still do it. COVID didn't stop every single thing. We just got to find new ways to do what we used to do maybe so easily. We just had to find new ways to do it. That's all. The kids had to find new ways to do school. Parents had to find new ways to work. Families had to find new ways to be together, to respect and love each other and honor each other. Communities had to find new ways to acknowledge each other instead of ignoring each other. States had to find new ways to work with other states. Leaders have had to find new ways. So on all levels, on all fronts, we all have been impacted by embracing change. And it's so significant to me that I really intend to do a call this coming Thursday. I'm going to invite you to really talk some more about just that. The very thing that we're so nervous about and concerned about. How do we embrace change as we continue? We're going to close out this year, and even next year, we're still going to be here. So, one of the first things for me is simply recognize that change is a part of life. It's a part of what happens, part of what we do. It's the very thing that we're so afraid of, and yet it's what makes us grow. It's what helps us not become complacent in our lives. It also reveals to us possibilities. If it wasn't for change, we wouldn't know about possibilities. We might not even really think about what's possible. But as things change and shift, you realize, oh, there's a new way to do this. Oh, there's a new way to communicate. There's a new way to be a family. There's a new way to be friends. And then there's a new way for you to be by yourself and get to know who you are, embrace who you are, and then cultivate that and nurture that. You get to nurture you, your soul, your spirit, your dreams, your goals, and your vision. So As you cast your vision for this week, simply know that embracing the shift and the changes that's happening is a part of life. You've really been doing it ever since you were born, probably more unconscious than conscious. And this truly has been the year of awakening. That's what this has been. From the very beginning, it was about being woke. Last year, I think my son and I were singing this song about being woke. And this year has been a demonstration of what it's like to live life from a place of being woke, of not being asleep, not just kind of chilling, living day to day on automatic pilot, doing the same things. Just like I change where I walk, just like I change the hills I'm on, just like I change, this is where I am. My surroundings, just like I change the clothes I exercise in, the tennis shoes I wear, just like I change all of that, the sheets on my bed, then so too do we have to recognize change as part of our journey. Part of the journey, part of who we are. And the question simply becomes, how do we do it better? How do we embrace it better? How do we stay more awake and live in our dreams? I mean, if someone told you right now you were going to die at the end of the week, what are those things that you say, God, I wish I had done this, this, and this? Or if they said, you'll be gone by the end of the year, what would shift? Where would you put your focus? What is it you would feel like you would need to do that you hadn't done because you thought, I had plenty of time? Or you thought, the world is going to stay the same way, I'll get to it later. This was about urgency. This is much more than the presidency and the virus and all of that. This is about you and I, every last one of us, getting clear on our lives, how we want to live our lives, what we want that to look like, and then going about making that happen. That's the Rose Bowl. Well, that's the golf course that's connected to the Rose Bowl. Now think about it. The Rose Bowl is actually kind of, I don't know if I can see it, over there a little bit. Because that building over there is not it. But it's kind of right behind those trees over there is the Rose Bowl where you see the Rose Parade and all that kind of stuff. So I want you to really begin to look at where you are, where it is you say you want to be, and what it is that you say you want to do going forward. Get the mindset for that. Remember, you can think the thoughts that are going to create the things that show up in your life. You have the power to take action. Maybe it's not the big, huge action you want to take. I want to do some huge outdoor conference and event. Okay, maybe I can't do that. I'll do something on YouTube and invite everybody to come be a part of that. And then do a 2-day workshop with me, and we'll do it virtually. Or these days, we can do it live. I just invite 20 women, and we're outside and do box lunches. We can still get things done. So you have to be able to think those thoughts that are in alignment with what you want to see showing up in your life and be aware of those. Then you have to, of course, have a plan of action as it relates to those thoughts. What's your plan? So that you can embrace this, the thoughts that you're going to think, the actions that you're going to take, and then begin to put it in writing. You've got to write down everything. You can't just think in your mind, it'd be nice, I'm going to do this, this, and this. No, you have to write it down. What we write down is what we really bring into manifestation in our life. And then be willing to actually take the steps and the actions. And this is for you. Yes, there's an election going on. Yes, there's pandemics. Yes, there's terrorist group in our own country now kidnapping the governor and who knows what else. Yes, all that is going on. And it keeps us awake. I'm alert. When I walk out of my house, I remember all of my training. I have 1 or 2 things on me to at least delay some kind of attack or anything on me. But I also surround myself in amazing white light energy from the moment I get up to the moment I go to bed. I don't walk around in fear. I don't walk around anticipating that someone's going to bother me. But I am aware of the world that we live in. I'm also aware that it's more people who are not like what we are seeing on TV than there is who are. So that group of domestics, I'm sure there's some more here on this country's soil, but there's fewer of them, I think, than there is of those of us who want to live life in a different kind of way on this planet. And so I don't let that or allow that to stop me from whatever dream I'm looking at creating, whatever it is I'm looking at offering, or who it is I'm saying that I'm going to be. And you can't let it stop you either. Life, if nothing else, life has showed you life will continue to go on. The sun's going to shine. The moon's going to come out. Days are going to keep happening. It's going to keep going. No matter what's going on, no matter who's in office, no matter what's happening with the election, who shoots, who kills, who argues, who fusses, who fights, life is going to go on. So how do you have your life go on in the midst of the seeming change? That's the Monday mindset. Cast your vision for what you want to see for these next couple of months. And then before we know it, it's going to be time for us to cast our vision for the new year. There have been some sweet, sweet completions. Kobe left the planet in the beginning of the year. The Lakers won last night, so it's like they closed him out with a wonderful gift. Now they can go and live life, win some more championships, or do whatever they're going to do. They're done. That chapter is closed, and they move on. And that's life. Things open, things close. Things open and they close. We just have to have that mindset that we have now going forward all the time. We don't need a pandemic to keep us awake. We shouldn't need a pandemic to make us think differently about each other. But that's what we got. Luckily, that's what we're doing, and that's what makes it all worth it. Take good care. Have a great day. Look inside of you. Look at your life, your world, your heart, your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions. Get clear about what those are for you. Wherever you want to be there. Wherever you are and you're not where you want to be, get there. Because you're the only one who can get you there. Those of you who are, I'm going to say certainly, but truly interested in shifting your relationship with money, find me at www.JenenneMacklin.com. Those of you who want inspiration, still find me at JenenneMacklin.com. This Thursday, I'll be hosting the Prosperity Prayer Call. We will be looking at change even more deeply and the fear of it and the practices you can do specifically for a greater sense of calm and ease in the process. Because if there's nothing else we know for certain, it's change. So let's look at how you define it. Let's look at what you do in response to it, what works, what doesn't work. Let's look at what's new that you can implement as we go forward to be okay in your skin right here and right now. Because nothing's promised. One of us could die tomorrow. That'd be it. So I need you to be in your lives as much as you possibly can with the value that you know your life has, no matter what's happening out here on the outer plane. Take good care of you, your loved ones, your heart. Get off those TVs. Stop being traumatized by the news. Go out somewhere and laugh. If you didn't watch, I dare you. Who would be willing not to watch TV for a whole week? Not to look at it, not to turn it on for a whole week? Let me know below. Put hashtag I will. I'll know who you are. I'll be surprised to see who responds. In the meantime, take good care. Bye for now. Morning. I can't see.